So let's cover a few common terms used in the forex, which itself is actually a portmanteau of foreign exchange. That's where that comes from. Now, it's sometimes called the currency market or currency trading, and it's comprised, or the things that we're actually trading, are currency pairs or crosses. Now, it's pretty typical for investors to call anything in the currency market a pair, and what that means is it's one currency compared to another. Now, they'll sometimes use the word cross, but it's most frequently associated with currency pairs that do not involve the dollar, and we'll take a look at both of those types in this course. Now, currency pairs, or crosses, are divided into a few categories. We'll go into more details on this later, but they tend to fall into the category of majors, minors, or exotics. But first, let's run through an example of how the currency market actually works. Imagine, for example, that you are taking a trip, and you started out in the US, and you're going to the European Union. Now, in this case, we are assuming you're going to need to make some currency transactions here, and the dollar at the time was traded at 1.25 to the euro. What that means is that it costs $1.25 to buy a single euro. Now, that exchange can be done pretty easy. Let's assume that you have $1,000 and you need to convert that. So if we take $1,000 and we divide that by the exchange rate, $1.25, and that's going to tell us how many euros you actually wind up with. Now, what happens if at the end of your trip something has changed? The exchange rate has changed, but you wound up not actually spending any of your euro. So you still have 800 euro, and the exchange rate is $1.50. Well, this may actually wind up working in your favor, but we have to unwind the transaction because we're going to assume that you're going back to the United States. So if you do, then we're going to unwind that division problem by multiplying our 800 euro by $1.50 in the exchange rate, and that's going to wind up giving us 1,200 US dollars in that exchange. Well, this is an oversimplified example, but that in fact could happen. So an investor who exchanged their money at one rate as they were going to Europe and then exchanged it at another rate as they're heading back to the United States may wind up in a situation where they're either at a small loss or a profit. So let's review some of those numbers. We started out with the initial trade of $1,000 being converted at the exchange rate of $1.25 into 800 euro. From there, we traded those euros back into dollars. Now, in order to do that, we're going to unwind a division problem by doing a multiplication problem. We take those 800 euros, we times it by the new exchange rate of $1.50 because the dollar has gotten weaker, and we wind up with $1,200. Which, one way you could think about this, I don't know if that's entirely fair, is that you profited in this trip by $200. Well, let's assume that this trip took place over a series of weeks or months for the exchange rate to move that much. Currency traders are basically doing the same thing, but on a much shorter time frame. Now let's cover some of the ways that we classify currencies. Now, as I mentioned before, they do tend to fall into three major categories: majors, minors, and exotics. The majors would generally consist of currencies that are crossed with the dollar. Most transactions do involve the dollar at some point, so it would include things like the euro, the pound, the franc, and so forth. The minors are oftentimes crosses that don't involve the dollar but are still relatively actively traded, so the pound to the yen, for example. And the exotics may include currencies from emerging markets or emerging economies, as well as those that just are not as actively traded. Take Scandinavian currencies, for example. They may fall into the category of exotics. They do tend to be more expensive to trade than those in the majors because the majors are more liquid. Now from here, there are a few nicknames that will help you out a lot. The first one is, and this is the most actively traded currency pair, is the euro to the US dollar, and its nickname is euro. So if you hear somebody talking about the euro, that's what they mean. The pound to the dollar is just the pound, or cable, or sterling. The dollar to the yen is just called the yen. So when you hear someone talking about the value of the yen, that's what they're talking about. The Swissy, this is pretty straightforward. It's the Swiss franc, the dollar to the Swiss franc. The loonie, and this one takes traders sometimes by surprise, but it's the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar, and it's called that because the Canadian dollar coin has a loon on its face. Now, the Aussie is pretty straightforward, just the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, and the Kiwi, which is the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar, and those two actually wind up acting very much the same in the forex.